First we'll see how to generate a stimulus. So the generation of the data or a transaction descriptor is modeled separately for the data model themselves because of different dynamics of their respective lifetimes. So what they're trying to say is, like, when you are generating a data, either there are two options: either you're going to generate a data or either you're going to generate a transaction descriptor. Okay, so you have to model these two things separately. But when they are generating the data, they are talking packet, frame, instructions. Okay, so data may be in form of packet, or it may be in form of frames, or it may be in form of instructions, or it may be a transaction descriptor. So we have to model these things separately. In a typical simulation, there will be thousands of data items and transaction descriptor created, flowing through transactor, recorded, and compared in self-checking structures. So what they're trying to say is, when you are running a simulations, okay, so we know that we will create many classes. Okay, so when we are running a simulation, we are creating transactions, we are creating transactor descriptors. In between, we are deallocating the memory when your transaction is over. So like that, many things will happen, and at last, when you're performing self checking, okay, when you're performing self checking, in that case you are comparing the two results, and at last you are getting the result. So that result is getting recorded. Okay, on the other hand, there will be only a handful of data and transaction source that need to exist at the beginning of simulation and remain existent until the end. So what they're trying to say is, like, when you're running a simulation, only some specific data you need throughout the simulation. Okay, rest you have to generate in between, and you have to uh, remove those variable in the course of simulation itself. Okay, but there are certain data items, like certain variables, which you need throughout your simulation. So that is what they are trying to say. Now, starting with first, random stimulus. So random stimulus is traditionally used to generate the background noise. So the only objective of random stimulus is to generate the noise. So it can also be used to generate the main test stimulus. Okay, so like some directed test case also you can generate with the help of this. So this random stimulus. So this is often implemented as a random test case separated by the directed test case when time allows. First we have to perform the directed testing. Okay, and then we achieve something. So we achieve 50% functionality in directed testing. Then we have to run the random stimulus. So random stimulus can be used in lieu of directed stimulus to implement the bulk of the test benches. So what they are trying to say is, like, don't perform random stimulus alone. You take a feedback from the directed testing, and then you perform then you run the random stimulus in order to reduce the burden of the test bench, coupled with functional coverage to identify if random stimulus has exercised the required functionality. Constraints are used to direct the generation process in appropriate corner cases. So when you are performing this random verification, in that case you have to check the coverage database also, in order to check how much functional coverage your random stimulus has achieved. Okay, so in order to achieve more functional coverage, what you will do, you will constrain your random stimulus in order to generate some special scenarios in your test bench. Now you see here, this is a generator. Okay, this will generate a class, and this is a transactor which is going to take that transaction and process it. Okay, so this is the objective of, but how they will communicate? With the help of channel. Okay, so this channel may be a mailbox, maybe a FIFO. Okay, or this channel may be a, like, you create a transaction and pass that thing as an argument to the task that is sitting here in this transactor. So we'll see what they're trying to say. The connecting a generator to a transactor require that output channels of the generator be an input channel of the downstream transactor. So whatever is the output, so this is the output from a generator, right? That will act as an input for the transactor. So this connection can be accomplished only if they share the reference to a single channel instance. So they are telling that you create a channel, okay, and if both will share this channel, both will share the same instance of this channel, then only it is possible. So the step to connect a generator to a transactor are: first, connect one of them internally to instantiate its channel, then second, pass a reference to that channel to constructor of the other one. Now they are talking about how to connect a generator to a transactor. Okay. So So first what they are trying to say is, suppose first you can connect a generator with a channel. Suppose they are taking, so first you instantiate the channel inside the generator module, okay, and then you connect, then pass a reference to the that channel to the constructor of one of the other one. Then after that you take a reference and pass that thing as a constructor. We'll see how they are talking. So this is the generator, okay, so this is a generator class, and you are deriving one handle for that class. Now this is the MAC class, okay, so the Ethernet MAC, they are talking about the transactor, okay. Now what is the first they are trying to say, instantiate the channel. So they are instantiating channel out, okay. So this is the generator dot out channel, they are instantiating this channel and pass a reference to that channel to the constructor of the other one. So see, MAC, okay, so MAC is what, this is a transactor, okay, so we have already seen this is a transactor, this is a generator, okay. So you are instantiating these things, generator and transactor. After that you are taking this MAC constructor, new is a constructor, and you're passing the whole thing, whole output channel. So what is this? This is a connection. So if you want to achieve the connection between generator and transactor, you can implement in this way. So second is instantiating the transactor first, okay. So now they are talking, if you are instantiating a transactor first, so here you see it is a reverse. Here you are first instantiating a generator, you are connecting a generator and channel, output channel, and then you are connecting it with MAC. But here you say, here it is reverse. First you are taking the MAC transactor and connecting it with the channel, and then you are connecting it with the generator. So in this way, like, both are possible. So that is what they are trying to say. Alternatively, a standalone channel can be instantiated, then passed to the constructor of the generator and the transactor. So means alternative, what they are, both are possible. That is what they are trying.